Okay, we'll start with questions today. Sean Cunningham.
Hey, what's up, Luke? Obviously, there's going to be people want to talk about the basketball game, but because today was such a historic day in our country, and you guys have been rather outspoken about things that go on outside the basketball court, I was just curious as to if you had any observation on what happened today, and was it much of a discussion with you and your group?
It hasn't. Today with how the season is now, we're not doing a lot of shoot arounds, so we didn't see each other until just a little bit ago. I don't know a lot of the details. I've seen, some of it. A lot of today I've spent, looking into Chicago, but it is, it's a sad day for our country, and I think it continues to be one of those things where we have to look to be united and come together, support each other much more than we've shown. It's one of the beautiful things about sports is that, sports normally does that. So I just, as a country, we really need to look to, continue to try to come together much more. But I have not spoken with the team about it yet.
Luke, you guys are kicking off a 7-game homestand, which is pretty unheard of in the NBA. Generally, it happens occasionally. But do you feel like there is such thing really as a home court advantage this season with how things work?
Not from the standpoint of playing the games with the crowds not being here. It's that part of the home court advantage I think gets taken away. However, I think it is nice when you are home because you get, you're sleeping in your own beds, you're eating home cooked meals instead of banquet food. And even on the road now with so much of the rules, it's you're just stuck in your room for so long that it starts to wear on you a little bit. So that part of home court advantage I think still exists, just the comfort of being at home, but not so much once you're in the gym and playing.
Hey, Luke. Do we have any update yet on Tyrese Haliburton and just where he's at and whether he'll play tonight?
Yeah, he's back. He's active. He'll play tonight. He got a good workout in yesterday. We were just kind of waiting to see how he felt after that. So he's been cleared by our medical staff to get back out there.
Chuck Swirsky.
Hey, Luke. Thank you for your time, by the way. And just a couple of questions from the Chicago standpoint. Jabari Parker, I know he's not playing tonight according to the injury report. If you can give us an indication what's going on in his world, and also Rashawn Holmes, who's from the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, Jabari had, he had some personal things that he had to take care of. So with the world we live in now, it's as he re-enters the group, there's a protocol that needs to take place. But yeah, we love having Jabari. Unfortunate for him, he got hurt early in training camp, so he hasn't really had the opportunity coming into the season that we were all kind of hoping for, just between the injuries and lack of practice time that we have. But he's a great teammate. He's an extremely talented young man. And then Rashawn Holmes is, he came here as a third center option, and has, by his work in his performance and the trust that he has earned from his teammates, has worked himself into our starting center. And he, in games that are close or games that we win, we feel very confident when we have him out there on the floor, whether it's, getting offensive rebounds, coming up with a stop, or knocking down free throws. He's really worked on his game and turned himself into a nice player.
Yeah, Coach Walton. Just wanted to see if we can get a little intel from you about the Chicago Bulls, the ones that will be playing tonight. Technically, Zach LaVine and Kobe White, their backcourt. Can you provide more information on them?
Yeah, they're good. I know they're missing some players, but they've beat Dallas two games ago, beat Portland. I think they've won 4 out of 5. This is a team that's playing at a high level. And, you know, Levine's one of those guys that, you know, he had 39 2 nights ago, I think 30 in the first half. Like he can get hot really, really quick. And him and White are a very dynamic backcourt. Both of them can shoot extremely well. They're getting lots of attempts up. They're pushing the ball. So, you know, they put a lot of pressure on your defense, and that's where it's going to start for us tonight, is that front line of defense there. You know, how are we letting them run the offense? Are they getting easy cuts? Are they getting open looks? Are we making them work for all those things? And, you know, it's going to be a big part of tonight's game.
Yeah, you said that Tyrese is active tonight, Coach. I just wanted to see if there were any kind of restrictions on him, minutes restrictions, or if he's clear to go full blow.
Yeah, no minutes restrictions, just obviously keeping an eye on him. You know, he hasn't played in a few days now. And, you know, he was, you know, from his fall, he was sore in about 3 different places. So we'll just keep an eye on him to make sure he's moving all right. But besides that, there's no restrictions on him.
Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke, one thing real quick on Jabari. Is there a timeline for that? A certain number of days he'll be in protocol? And then I have another question too.
There is, Jason, and I apologize. I don't know all the protocol rules and what I'm allowed to share with you guys. So there is a protocol in place. I know what it is. I just don't know if I'm allowed to share that with you guys, being a personal thing like that. So I'm just going to stay away from that.
Okay. When you look at the way the ball movement has kind of broken down these last couple games with Ty out, can you talk a little bit about just how quickly he's become so integral to what you guys are doing there, and whether it makes sense that a guy 5 games into his career is that essential to you?
That part does not. I would not have guessed that, Jason, that, 5 games into, such a crazy start to his career, he'd be impacting the team as much as he is. But, that's what we heard about him. That's what our scouts told us about him. It's, you watch the film on him and everything else, but, all the feedback we got was the intangibles he brings to his team, in college, and just the type of player and person he is. And, he's already, come in and done a really nice job. He's made an impact, and but we can't just rely on him to do that. That's got to be a team thing. I felt like a big part of our struggles in the last 2 games is we got away from that as a group. We started, our spacing, our discipline from a spacing standpoint we've had some major slippage in the last 2 games. And then, the creating for others has been the other thing that's been noticeable in going back and watching those losses. So he should help. He's naturally an unselfish player that looks to create for others, but that's a team thing that has to be in the forefront of our heads.
All right, we'll end today with G-Man.
Look, kind of piggybacking off of that ball movement business, how critical is it to avoid stagnation, to keep the ball moving, to help this team get back on track?
It's huge for us. It depends what your philosophy is on basketball. For me, it's that's to me how the game needs to be played. It's the way the game's meant to be played. Now I know there's exceptions when you have certain players that are the elite scorers of this league. You can get a little more stagnant and they're going to go get buckets for you. That's not what that's not who we are as a team. So we rely heavily on that ball movement, on us creating for others, on us getting out and pushing the pace. Those are things that we need to do to give ourselves chances to win games. And we're talking about it a lot. We'll show clips about it a lot. But most importantly, we have to get back to that while we're out there on the court.